Welcome to the City League Sports Show. Our faithful listeners, how are you all out there? You know how we do. And those of you that are new to the show, we got stories to tell about all things Columbus City League sports. We got a treat here today. Just one of those we got a treat here today. Today we got Aaliyah Barnes, Warrior in the house, Eastmoor Academy. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino, City League Sports Show. Aaliyah, say hello to everybody here in Columbus. Say what's up.
Hey, y'all.
Come on. No, you got to give them better than that. You can't just give it hey. You got to give them better than that. Come on now.
Oh, okay. Hey, y'all. Go Warriors. Here we go.
We got a little Warrior love right out the gate, right?
Yeah.
So check this out, right? For those that don't know, you're one of Eastmoor Academy's most phenomenal track stars. You came and just set all kinds of records, done all sorts of special stuff for a school that has a long history of special stuff, right? So I want to dig in right out the gate, right? I want to dig in, and this is like that track season, right? This is that time. This is that spring. It's in the air. We're running. We're moving, and I want to dig in right out the gate. When you come into Eastmoor, were you a track kid? Where were you at on this paradigm of this track journey? You know what I mean? Share that with everybody, like when you come in the ninth grade.
Yeah, so coming in, I was, destined to run track. That's what I came there for. I was pretty good in AAU. So from there, I just played volleyball and basketball. Okay. So I was kind of excited about track, but it didn't work out. Some people may know, some people may not know. I was ineligible my first year. At Eastmoor. Okay. Yes. So that
you didn't run your ninth grade year?
I did not run my ninth grade year. All of my state titles came after.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would completely have to sit out my ninth grade year, which was really eye-opening for me.
Yeah, let's stay there for a minute. That's not in my notes. I love that, right? Let's stay there for
a lot of people.
Tell me what that does. Yeah, tell me what that does to a ninth grade kid, a young person, when that's hitting you like that, especially because track is your thing, right?
Yeah. So that was tough. It really was, because I believe my first year we won the city championships in volleyball. Okay. Basketball did pretty good as well. So I'm just rolling through the sports, racking up titles.
Certainly.
Getting all my letters, and then it's time for my actual sport, and I find out a day before the track meet, you are ineligible, and I'm like, excuse me, no, I have over a 2.0. Right. And they're like, no, you have, the grade point average, you don't have the credits. And I'm like, credits? What are you even talking about? What is a credit? What you mean? I passed enough classes. So it was tough, but it truly changed me, for the better. Miss Gillison, who was my principal at the time, she talked to me. She brought me into her office, and she's like, you don't let anyone else define your future. You are in control of everything that you want to be and who you are going to be. So get your stuff together.
Yeah, certainly.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I never looked back after that. It was the toughest moment in my life that kind of haunted me for a really long time.
Certainly.
Because my GPA was so low my first year that my next years after, I had to do the best I could do just to get into college. I'm like, it takes all of this.
That's right. It's not. The path is not easy, right?
You mean I just don't run fast and then you bring me into school? So that was really tough.
I love
but it was
that
a good, valuable lesson.
I love that part that you just shared, and you said it so just so natural that I think maybe some people missed it. That talent alone just isn't going to just get you through the door, no matter what sport it is, right? Talent by itself isn't going to get you through the door.
No.
Wow. Okay. So you miss your ninth grade year. You don't get this opportunity to run, but you're a multi-sport kid. So you still had some attachments and connections to the school. You have these conversations, obviously, with the principal, who who gives you a conversation as a 14, 15-year-old young lady. And then but even though you don't run, what are the names that you're hearing for Eastmoor girls track that are saying these are the legends of Eastmoor, or who was before you?
Yeah,
that people were talking about.
My all-time favorite runner and role model, went to Ohio State as well, is AZ, Arizona Favors.
Yes, indeed.
So I actually got to meet her and talk to her. So that was nice. Good. It was really nice. She's a really nice person. So that's really.
And AZ was out cold, right?
Oh,
I mean, and you all just kept rolling with a number, but so you come into it. by the time you get there, AZ's name is still fresh, right?
Yeah.
And so is that a part of the culture? Is everyone kind of like talking about AZ in that fashion?
Oh, yeah. And she played basketball too.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, you're like a mini AZ. Like you play basketball.
Wow.
You're really fast.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh.
And you got a family connection to the school as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, there's that piece as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure you heard some of that. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. So I can never live that down. My mom and my dad both went to Eastmoor.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And apparently my dad is like this big living legend. So
yeah.
I hear that all the time.
And let me share, right? Like, I would say, because I played when your dad played basketball, and 90% of the stories are true. Maybe 10%, right? But 90%, I mean, like your dad could play. When you hear those things about him, he dumped it on us. I never beat your dad when I was in school. You know what I mean? Walnut Ridge, we 0-2 against them guys my senior year, which I wish we could have got over the hump. But so you got a lot of connections here. Yeah. So a lot of people are looking at you, Aaliyah Barnes, and your nickname was what?
Mookie.
Love it. I wanted you to introduce it, everybody, because I didn't want to steal the Mookie thunder. But like I remember everyone. At first it was, have you heard about Mont's daughter?
Yeah.
For my group, right? Because of the circle that I know, and then people would always keep saying to me, "Have you seen Mookie? Have you seen Mookie everywhere?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you're getting that love, and so now you got people talking about AZ, right? Some people who know your parents talking about your parents with you, and you got these like you got the weight of the world on you, right?
Yeah.
So now let's kind of like get to the space where. You're regrouped, you're refocused, you're a sophomore now, and then tell me, share with everybody, like give me your version of life at that time and how things go for you.
Sophomore year was great. My track coach, Tremaine Peppers, he's at Beechcroft now.
Yeah, Tremaine is out there.
Yeah, that's literally. I'm Mookie because he saw me run time and he was like, that girl could be good, and that's how it all.
Oh, shout out to we had Coach Peppers on the show a couple of weeks ago. So shout out to Coach Peppers.
That's my track dad.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
But no, so he kind of gets on me like, get it together. Like this is your year. So we trained that summer just to get ready for, the next year. He did not want me to play basketball. He's like, no basketball. You need to run indoor. And I'm like, no indoor. I'm playing basketball. Right. So my mind just shifts to like, okay, this year, like, nobody's like beating me. Like, this is just not a thing. Like, this is my sport and I'm going to do it.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, I don't know. I don't find a lot of kids 15 years old thinking like that. Where'd that come? Who gets some credit for that level of mindset? Because I wish more 15-year-olds thought that way, because here's something, and here's the reason why I share that, right? I want listeners to get a little bit close. Turn your radios up out there, listeners, because in order to have that mindset, you have to also be willing to put in the work, right? Because you have to know I'm putting in the work, which means I'm going to get the results that I want to get. So where did that come from for you at 15 years old?
Honestly, Tremaine. Like in the summertime, I went with him. We would do 2-a-days sometimes. And he like put something in my head like, these kids are not better than you.
Not on your level.
Yeah. Like there's times I would talk myself out of races. Like, I don't know if I can do it. Oh no! Like,
were you saying that to Coach out loud?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, so that's cool. So you had somebody who was really in your corner.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So great. I'm listening.
So he just told me like all the time, like there's not a kid in Ohio better than you. Like I don't know. I don't care what you think, like what you're saying, and some people may disagree, but it is what it is. Like it's like there's no kid that's out here better than you. Right. And you have to like have that mindset. And I'm like, okay, like still nervous, but. Nerves are good. Every race, that's all I can hear is like, there's not one person out here better than you. I look at the line, nah.
Not this group today, right?
Today.
Yeah, not today, right? It ain't one on this line next to me today.
So that's just, and I just carried that. And so my sophomore year, I'm like, no.
So how did you do your sophomore year, in your opinion? Like, I mean, just in general, when you think back on it, how was that as a season?
It went pretty good, I think. Okay. I won the 100 and 200, so that was pretty.
Right, like I won the 100 and 200.
Yeah, that was fun. So that was nice. It was really was really, nerve-wracking, but it was cool.
Okay. So now let's stay with this. Let's stay with this energy of Eastmoor track, legacy, AZ, and all the things that AZ done, right? And then so your junior year, you come into it, like you said, you win the 1 and the 2 in the state. I want to make sure we're saying this correctly, because you say it's so like this. I just won the 1 and the 2. We're talking about state championships here, folks, right? We're not talking about the one. We know you won cities, but we're talking about the 1 and the 2 in the state, right?
Yeah.
So you got state championships next to your name. You're this big shot. Now, what year was it that you all won the state championship as well, the team states?
My senior year.
Your senior year. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, right? So your junior year, 1 and the 2, and then we look up in your senior year, and you kind of maybe got some new events going on.
Yeah. So I won the 4 my sophomore year. What did I not? Look, okay, I've done no. I stayed with the 1 and the 2, and then so I'm a points person, and I'm like, okay, we have to win. Like, in order to win, you have to win
so many points. Yeah.
Score in a certain amount of points.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I can do 1, 2, 4, and the 4x2.
Okay.
How?
Right.
I don't know.
Just somehow, it's in me,
I'm
right?
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then we had Cheyenne. She was in the hurdles, so I'm like, all right, we got that in the bag. She's gonna win that. I'll do the 1, 2, 4. Cool. There was a lot of points. We're going to win the 4x2. No need to worry about that.
Right.
And we're going to win. Like, there's just no way we're going to lose this.
Right. So like you shared that pretty simplistic also. You are truly an accomplished athlete, because these things that are a big deal to the rest of us, you speak about them so natural. Like, oh, it's not, we got this, we did this. It's almost like it's just your second nature, like grabbing your keys when you're going out the house, right? But I want to slow down for a moment, because this is not that easy. What you're saying, and like it's just written in stone that yes, we're going to do X, is really not that easy, right? So as a senior, you're the leader. You got a new freshman that comes in. So now you come in, right? Like, I mean, if you think about it, right? And even though you and AZ were not at Eastmoor at the same time, I think you probably miss her by 2 or 3 years, right? So you miss AZ because she comes out, I think my notes here, she comes out in 05, and you were maybe a freshman like in 09, something like that, right? So you miss her by 4 or 5 years. But then Cheyenne comes in, right? And she's a freshman. So when you're looking at Cheyenne, do you see some resemblance of this is the next part of the Eastmoor legacy? Did you see that?
Cheyenne comes in, and she's like just a natural born athlete. Like, she's super talented.
So were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Cheyenne was a little bit more seasoned, from a track standpoint.
Okay.
Like, Tremaine was trying to get me there. Like, like, you could be really good at this. You need to train hard. I'm like, I'm going to play other sports. Right. Cheyenne was truly a track runner. Like, she was made for it. Okay. And she was a phenomenal hurdler. Okay. So, like, that was our year to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys go into states, but from what I see, I think you didn't run in the 2 that year.
I ran the 2.
You ran.
I got 3rd in the 2, which I was ticked off about.
Okay.
I should have won the 2.
Okay. But
it's fine.
But Cheyenne wins the 2 that year, right? So
we were like all like
right there. So
at that point,
hundredths of a second.
At this time, I didn't know. Like, we didn't know until we looked up
and see the board. Yeah. So hundredths of a second.
That was
is the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that say to you to lose to a teammate? But also, so on one breath, you're happy for a teammate. Yeah. But then also a person. So you share some of those feelings with everybody, because that's a little bit of a different space.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you should have won a race, and then you have to go back and think like, well, you shouldn't have won a race, because did you always put in the extra time, or did you think it was going to be handed to you? And so that's where, you come into like a realization moment of like, well, you would have won the race if you would have done a little more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I mean,
that's deep there.
Sometimes you have to like have these tough experience for you to understand like why things work the way they do. Like,
did you have that conversation with yourself post meet Or even maybe during because that's a very mature response you just gave.
Yeah.
Is that the mindset of Mookie today, 23, or was that your mindset 2012 as a young person? Did you have that much vision back then?
Afterwards,
or understanding?
I was really honestly happy that we had won.
Okay.
So
we won the team championship.
Yeah, a lot of the feelings that I had didn't come until after like few days, weeks later when you realized like, oh, that was your very last.
Yeah, it's really all over, right?
Yeah, so that is when it kind of like sinks in, like, oh wait, like did I give it everything that I have? Like did I
certainly
work out every single day the way I wanted to? Did I enter each practice like, yes, wow, this is my competition right here. I'm going to beat this person. And I didn't realize a lot of those things until I got to college. Like when I got to college, Coach Jones, he was the coach at Bishop Hartley. But he was my 400-meter coach my first year at Ohio State.
Okay. And we're going to get to Ohio State.
And that's what he talked to me about all the time. It's like in practice, like you envision yourself running against the people you need to beat. And like every day you train your mind. So like after I lost, it was kind of like, I didn't care at that moment. Like I was like, oh man, third.
Right.
What is that?
Right. Because you ain't had third in a long time.
Yeah. So I'm like, what? But I also took on the 1, 2, and the 4, and the 200 was my very last event. So I went 100, 4x2, 400, 200.
Okay.
So
yeah.
That was also me telling my mind and my body that I was tired. You know, like you're not tired. You're okay.
Yeah.
Like, it will be okay.
Right. I want to pause here for a second because I want all the parents of kids coming into high school, 9, 10, 11. I'm not even going to talk about seniors right now. And I want all the kids entering 9, 10, and 11. You're hearing right now firsthand testimony of a phenomenal athlete, a young lady who won multiple state championships, has all of these accolades and all this phenomenal stuff, played volleyball, which was also a treat watching you play volleyball because, like your father, you jumped out the gym also, right? You got this bounce in your legs and you're just a great athlete. But you play multiple sports and then yet you can reflect here and say, there's something else I could have done, right? And I share that because I don't want all of you parents and kids out there to lose the moment. Because you can't get it back, right? Like if you don't train today, you can't just train twice tomorrow, right? Like that's not how it works.
I try to tell people that.
Go ahead. No, you take that.
It does not work like that. Like I own a gym, right?
Okay.
So I train a lot of different athletes, and I try to get them to understand every day. Like when you walk in here, this workout is today's workout.
Right.
I can't give you this workout tomorrow.
That's right.
Tomorrow's a new workout.
That's right.
It ain't got nothing to do with what's going on today.
Right.
So like you really have to go in every day, like give 100% of your best right that you have right now. So if your body is 70%, you're giving 100% of 70%.
I love that right there.
Like it doesn't make sense for a lot of people because they're like, I'm tired. Everybody's tired. And realistically, like I feel like so many people look so small. Like they're like, what am I doing around here? Like I'm a legend around here. I love around here, right? This is my hometown. These people don't always have my back.
Columbus, right?
But how do I pair up against the people that's not here? Because I'm looking at Texas and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm coming for you.
Right.
Like I want your name. Like that's so.
And that has sometimes to attribute to experiences, exposure, and we're going to get to that part of it here in a moment. I want to stay for one piece on your senior year in the 4x2, and I'm curious if you knew this. So your senior year 4x2. You all set the state Division II record. Did you know that? Did you know who had the record before you all?
No.
Eastmoor had it before you all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So AZ and them had it before you all, and then you all came in and broke it.
Is it still there, or someone broke it?
I think somebody's broken it since.
Oh, that's good.
Because the overall state meet I think is a 137 something, but you all did like a 139. And at the time, the state record was a 138. But for Division II state, it was a 140. So you all broke an Eastmoor record, I believe, for the states. Yeah. At your senior year, you all broke the meet record. So you're running the 4, the 1, the 2. You do all these things. Your senior year, state championship for team championship. You got state championships since you were a sophomore. So you're feeling pretty decorated and pretty good about yourself. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah. I did pretty good.
You did pretty good, right? So I mean, well, it's a lot of people would love to have one state championship in one event, and you got 5 or 6 of them, right, in multiple events. So. Now share with everybody, because I'm gonna circle back to challenges. I want to kind of go back to that in a moment. But share with everyone, how do you end up Ohio State? You're a Buckeye. So how does that become your choice for where you continue on?
Yeah. So let's just back to that freshman year that I said always haunts me, right? So like you can't ever forgive that because that's part of like why I ended up at Ohio State.
Wow. Okay.
So I go to my visit to Kentucky. Absolutely love it. My mom shows up.
Is this during your senior year, I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. So during your senior year, you're doing visits.
In a Ohio State jacket. Ooh, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why would you come to this visit? And the Coach Flo, love him. Like, he's at Texas now. He goes, it's okay. I know you're from Ohio.
And that's just our regular everyday gear.
Like,
we probably don't even think about it as much.
Take it off.
Right.
She takes off the jacket. Ohio State shirt. I'm like, oh my, are you serious?
Right.
Did you really come? So I have a good time. Love Kentucky. Love Coach Flo.
Yeah.
I'm going to Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. Going to Kentucky. Get a call from Coach Joseph, who's now the head coach, but she was the jumps coach when I was there.
Okay.
Get a call from Coach Joseph leaving from school. And she's like, hey, we want to bring you on a visit. And I'm like, really? Like, okay, like I'll come on a visit.
Have they showed interest in you before that phone call?
Yes.
Okay, I'm listening.
It wasn't like, it was out of the blue, but not really out of the blue, but I've lost a lot of contact with coaches due to grades.
Okay.
Because you have to get into, like, once you get into the clearinghouse, you have to get into the school. In order to be able to get into the school, you got to have the grades.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, my GPA was low.
Okay.
You know, from my freshman year. So I had to do so much work.
Right.
And then here's the ACT. And it's like, oh, the ACT score has to match the GPA?
Yeah.
What in the world? You mean to tell me?
Right.
Why you only tell me this 3 years ago?
Right.
So, no, like, shout out to everyone at Eastmoor because of them, they like, all right, let's get this together.
Yeah, got in the lab and you guys got to work.
Yeah.
So the coach from Ohio State calls you.
Yeah, we go on to our visit.
Now, who's on this visit? You and who else?
My mom and Tremaine.
Okay. You, mom, and coach. All right.
So, happy, love it. Yeah. Ohio State shirt. She's like, yeah.
Right.
The greatest of all time.
Right.
I'm like, this lady.
Right.
So we're just walking around campus and it still doesn't feel right. Like, I like Ohio State, but I've never been an Ohio State fan. Like, I never cared.
So growing up in the city, you weren't necessarily a Buckeye.
No.
That wasn't being showered on you as a young person. Okay.
No, the only experience I've had at Ohio State before taking a visit was working the games with my mama's church.
Oh, yeah.
And they would
doing some of the work, doing the fundraising stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like,
well, that's work, though.
Yeah. So many people. It's crowded. I don't like crowds. So I'm like, no, this school's way too big.
Okay.
So I leave the visit. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's really cool. I like it. It's all right. And I go home and I call my mama and I'm like, Mama, like, where should I go? Like, Ohio State or Kentucky? And she's like, well, Leah, you go to Ohio State, duh. And I was like, okay, I'll go to Ohio State.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up at Ohio State.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So. I mean, and here's the thing, like, you can't go wrong with Ohio State, though.
Yeah.
Right? So you make Ohio State your choice, family support. You got people you can lean on and trust. Obviously, if you're making that phone call to someone in your home, you trust the advice that you're going to get, right? So you come into Ohio State. Now I want to combine challenges, 9th grade year, 200-meter senior year, and then you're a freshman at Ohio State. What's the first thing that jumps out to you that this is different? What's the first real challenge that hit you that you can remember being a collegiate athlete? I
didn't get into Ohio State at first. That's the biggest, like, there's so many things like people don't know. Like, I was like struggling. I did not get in. So had to write, Ohio State has something called a committee. Okay. And you write a letter and you're like, begging them to like let me in. Like, I know I don't have the grade.
We're not begging, but you're presenting yourself in a different light.
Felt like I was.
Nah, but we ain't even gonna call it that because you know I'm not gonna let you keep beating up on yourself in here. You too talented of a young person. Yeah. And while you may have hit an adversarial moment at some point when if all of us were going to be held to a lifelong lesson from a decision that we made maybe 13, 14, 15 years old, some of us would never be successful.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not going to let you hold on to that. But you went through a different process.
Yeah.
So you write a letter, and then but I want to hold on to kind of a larger part of when you started getting in and around and you're now doing track, right?
Yeah.
So you write the letter. Obviously, it works.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
My coaches had my back. So then from then I knew, like, no matter what, I always have their back. And that's kind of the same relationship I had with Jermaine. Like, no matter what, like, I always have their back because they showed me that they actually care.
Certainly.
So I write the letter. They do their part, and I get in. And it's like, oh, my gosh, yes. Like,
here we are.
I can breathe.
Walking around Ohio State, big old campus, oval, all that type of stuff, right?
So never look back. Like, I get there.
Does the track team also practice at Jesse Owens Stadium? Is that where practices are at? Oh, okay.
So we practice indoor at French and then outdoor at Jesse Owens.
Okay.
But you got to remember the people that I ran against in high school. So you have Chesna, who's at Ohio State. You have Aisha Cavin, who's at Ohio State. So I mean, the team is loaded. And so practice is like state meet every day, like constantly. Like, man, you guys let up a little bit. And I get there and I'm like, oh, like I'm going to do this every day. 6 a.m. weights.
Love it.
And I got to I have mandatory tutoring hours.
All athletes lift weights. That's a theme on the show that I love. And you bring it up on your own. So when you bring it up, I got to share a little something. Everybody that's listening, all athletes lift weights.
Absolutely. If you're not lifting, you're not doing it right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, it's a must. And I did not lift weights in high school.
Yeah.
And I think some people have to realize that, like, when you're talented, you take a different path than someone who has to work hard, but it doesn't mean you don't have to work hard.
Right.
So I was talented. I didn't lift weights, and I still ran fast. But just imagine where I would have been
if you were lifting weights and doing some of those other things.
I would have done some of those things.
Right.
And, like, my path looks a little different. So that's one thing.
But what's the first eye opener for being a college athlete? Is it the lifting weights, or is it the 6 a.m., or is there one thing that
all of it?
It's all of it.
Never ending.
Yeah, all of it comes at you pretty quick, huh?
Yes, I try to tell the parents now, like when they're like, "Oh, my child needs a rest day," I'm like, "What's that?"
Right.
Huh?
Hey, when I got to school, that was one of the first thing, and I love basketball, and everyone that knows me knows that I love the game. But I just remember, I'm like, we literally hoop all the time. We hoop all day. And then this is just before the season. When the season started, we're 6 a.m., we're lifting.
Yes.
And then we got morning practice, we got afternoon practice, and then you wake up and you're doing it every single day, right? And and people, and I get it. I know athletes today, they go, I'm not going to be the person who tries to get into what is appropriate for mental health and all those things. I'm kind of, in college, you can push yourself. Your body and everything will tell you. If your mind needs to shut your body down, it will, right? And those things. But we figured it out. I sit here today and I look back on it and I go, that was a bad dude, right? Like, you was a bad dude in college, right?
And you have active recovery, you have rehab. It's not like your body is going without the things it needs.
Right.
Like, as long as you fuel it correctly, you're getting enough rest.
Certainly.
You're doing active recovery. You're doing recovery.
Right.
Then your body would be fine. But no, it was never ending.
Right.
And I'm like, well, when's the day off?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired. And like,
Certainly.
what is that?
That's right.
No. So every day you would have 6 a.m., lifted at 6 a.m. I would go to tutoring after that. Then I would go to classes. Then I have practice again because now I have to go to the track.
Right.
And then after that, I'll have to go to tutoring. And then I'll go to my dorm. And then it will start all over again. So my first year, I'm like, man, like, this is intense.
Right.
And every day I'm in this same routine. And for the longest, you don't see no reward, because you're just training.
Right.
So, like, you have no clue if this is even working.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the other thing. It's like, in high school, it's like we practice for 3 weeks. Then, boom,
it's a bunch of meets. And then you're just running meets every other weekend. Yeah.
No. College is like the complete opposite. You train for so long.
Right.
Like
3-4 months.
Oh, yeah. School starts in August. Preseason starts September. Like, you're there. And your first track meet is not until January.
Right. So a lot of work. When you look back on it, because they're giving me, I told you 30 minutes goes by fast, right? When you look back on your time at Ohio State, share with everybody just some of your fondest memories. And we're going to go backwards. So I want you to give me some Ohio State fond memories and then some high school Eastmoor fond memories.
Yeah.
And just, you know, in the space of track, and then we'll start to circle around from there.
Yeah, so best memory, Big Ten champion.
Okay.
Like, you know, Big Ten championships, they're a big thing. They're a big deal.
Certainly.
And we won a team. Team one right above, you know, that team up north.
There you go.
We beat them out for the championship.
Wow, okay.
So that was a big moment.
What year is this for you?
This is my sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this is the first time they've won since Christina Manning era, which was like, that team was loaded.
Yeah, and that's like, what, the 80s or?
No, so the girls had been winning.
Okay.
So that group had won, but Stina and them are the ones that like revamped the women's program.
Got you.
And they won. So we were the first group to win after them.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. Now they can't stop winning.
Okay.
So kudos to them.
So Ohio State now is just rolling in terms of girls track and dominating the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you still follow it? Do you still kind of like watch and see how the team is doing?
I'm very close with my coaches. Like when I was walking in here, I was on the phone with Coach Joe.
Nice.
I'm very close with them. I talk to him all the time.
Okay.
So we won Big Tens. We go to nationals. We're the first team ever to like get top whatever.
Okay.
What did we get? Like 6th or 7th?
Yeah.
The relay team had never done that before.
Okay.
Like you had individuals who would go and win, but like we went as a relay team and like took home a medal.
Right.
Like that's a big deal.
Certainly.
Through Ohio State, I got to run on the USA team and got a gold medal with USA. So that was pretty fun.
Where was that experience at?
We were in Oregon.
What, ain't nothing wrong with Oregon?
It was fine, but every other year, you know, you just dream and you watch the television. You're like, we're in Moscow and
yeah.
all these other places.
Right.
And then I finally get the chance to go, and they're like, you're in Oregon. And remind you, nationals.
Bend, Oregon.
Nationals for college is always in Oregon.
Yeah.
So I just left Oregon.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm like, I got to go. And then trials is in Oregon.
Got you. So you were just there for NCAAs, and then we're right back for
trials,
USA's trials. And
yeah.
I got you.
But I mean, we, you know, was able to get a gold medal through them, meet a ton of people.
Certainly.
You know, I set the Ohio State 200-meter record. I had a few records there as well.
Okay.
It was broken, you know.
Yeah, but it was yours. Even,
and the person who broke it,
even if it's only for a moment, it's yours,
so you
right?
Just can't you can't even deny it. But yeah, so it was really good. I got like a strength award there too. So
nice.
Talk about weightlifting. I got the strength award.
There you go.
So it was a lot of success.
Certainly.
I ended up getting the first ever Michelle Willis Academic Award.
Okay.
So like just to go back to that freshman year where I did terrible, my freshman year of college, I had nothing under a 3.0. So
that is beautiful. Hey, I don't know that we could have scripted this one better to that. To begin with the story that you shared and to end by saying you got the first team academic award that they gave out and to have that success. And I'm kind of glad I shared what I shared, right? I'm gonna get a little teary-eyed for you, right?
Don't do it because I cry about it all the time.
I'm gonna get a little teary-eyed for you, and I say that because, like that's why I said we ain't gonna hold you to what happened as a decision for a 14-year-old. You know what I mean? Like that's not even life's plan, right? And so to hear that you took. And maybe not even conscious, but you took all of these experiences. Mm-hmm. You have a conversation with a principal who also ran track. I don't know if she ever told you that.
For
Dayton. And like when I say her, she loves to tell me, you know, I got a state record also, right? So
that's what
she's told you the same thing. Yes, indeed, right? So you got a principal who sits you down as 14. You got a track coach who believed in you. You got a parent who's supporting you. You got a grandmother that you trust in. You got these folks who, and then you get this connection and you build these relationships and these bonds with the track team at Ohio State. And all of this is all a part of our journey. You know what I mean? And so that one lesson that you learn, right? The 14-year-old you, whether you keep reminding yourself or not, you've learned that lesson. You can check that off your box. So like today, I'm relieving you of that. You can check that off your box. You've learned that lesson. You get to move on from that in life. You know what I mean? But I can't get you out of here because we're the Columbus City League sports show. And I love the story about Ohio State beating the team up north and winning Big Ten championships. But I just want to hear now, you look back, Eastmoor, track. Give me one of your fond memories that you have Eastmoor track, and then we'll start to get out of here.
Yeah, state championship.
That's the team state championship.
The team won. Like I won a lot by myself, but like, you know, it's always good when you do something by yourself. You're like, yeah, I did it. But like to know that the girls all came together.
Yeah.
And we did that. Like
certainly.
It doesn't.
Was there other seniors on the team that year?
Soraya.
Oh
yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was perfect. But then besides that, we got to go to volleyball.
Okay.
That's
give it. Come on. Give it.
I love track, and everybody's like, "Oh, you were track," but I love volleyball more. So track just, you know.
I remember y'all winning cities. I mean, and you got down in volleyball.
Say, that's my favorite Meal Mary ever.
Is it really?
Yes, winning against Centennial.
Right.
Go Warriors.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember watching that, and like, I mean, if they just set you anywhere near the net.
Oh yes,
you was bringing thunder. Yeah, you was bringing
within
thunder down
the 10-foot line. You already know.
That's just
right. That's how it works for me.
I love it. And you know, it is
and
so
you're not
natural.
Me.
It is so natural for you. I love the way.
That's just how
I wish more young people, because you have a level of confidence that I'm hearing today, and it's not like arrogantly, you know what I mean, confident.
Yeah.
It's not offending. I wish more young people, if you get a chance, whoever's out there coming to your gym and working with you and seeing you and talking to you, you are getting a real treat to be around Aaliyah, Mookie, Barnes, because let me share with you, you need to have that level of confidence, that I can do attitude. And like I said, it's not awkward. It doesn't feel arrogant. It's just a space that you said, I'm going to keep finding a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope, I mean, some people may think it is, but honestly, if you want to go to the next level and you want to achieve great things, you have to.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be people in your corner, but it's you. Like, you're the person that got to go out there and do it. So, like, you have to have that belief. Like, you have to be that advocate for yourself, that cheerleader for yourself in your mind. Like, there's nobody better than me. I tell my athletes all the time, like, when you walk out on that floor, ain't nobody better than you.
Certainly. But you got to do the work to have that, right?
What?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Like, y'all have to change the mindset of, oh, look at that person. Or look at this person. What does this person have versus what do I have? No, it's you. Like, you're the one. And you're going to be okay. So, like, that's just, like, how I am. It took me a while to get to that point.
Certainly.
You know, like, it doesn't just happen.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I know I'm the one. So it's like, you got to be number 2 because I'm already number 1.
There you go. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, look, they're telling me we got to wrap up. Everyone, thank you for listening today. Thank you.
Thank you for having
Mookie
me.
Barnes in the house, right? One of Eastmoor's legends. Everybody, much respect to who we have on our show today, Mookie Barnes. Be sure to catch all future episodes on radio, WCBE 90.5 FM. Catch us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Follow us, everybody, on Instagram at City League Sports 614. This is Mookie Barnes. I'm Dr. Vince Clarno, City League Sports, and we're out of here.